Coming, my lord. Coming. He gets a little cranky when his supper's late. Let's see, do I have everything? Oh, a nice fresh orange would be nice, and some grapes. And don't forget the water. Coming, my lord! Yes, it's just the way you like it. Yes, triple fiber bread. And the carrots are totally organic. Yes, my lord. The water? Yes, the water is direct from the river Euphrates. Gathered it myself. Enjoy, my lord. Whew. Another meal down. Oh, we don't usually have so many people here in the palace. It's nice to have you here. I am the Melzar, the overseer for Ashkenaz. There's been a big change around here the last, 3 years or so. I see some of you might be new, so go ahead and sit down. Let me tell you about it. We are living in the 3rd year of the reign of the greatest king on earth, Nebuchadnezzar. Babylon the Great is the greatest nation on earth, and he's doing a good job. His approval ratings are going up. Not that it matters when you're a king. You see, Nebuchadnezzar had to seize the throne by force. Back before he was king, he was the crown prince, about to take the throne from his father, who was old and sickly. Nebuchadnezzar was off on a campaign, gaining new territory for the realm, land that would one day be his, of course. When he got word from back home, here in Babylon, that his father had died. Nabopolassar was dead, and Nebuchadnezzar, to seize power and make sure his brothers didn't do anything stupid, decided to go on a death march. From Jerusalem to Babylon in 19 days. By foot. Across the desert in the summer. They barely made it. They had no water, no food by the time they got home, and it was miserable. He made it, took the throne, and began to reign. In time, his captives came. The loot from Jerusalem, the temple treasures, and the finest young people you'd ever hope to see. Why, we have a motto in Babylon: take the rest, take the best, and the rest. That's war. We would take these young people into our civilization, and we would reprogram their minds. New education, new laws, new habits, new literature. We would change their names, give them a new identity, and most importantly, give them a new way of life and a new God. There shall be no names with El or Yah in them, period. All names with El or Yah must be changed. There were 4 young men who proved to be most difficult. They were in their late teens, you understand. Fine young men on the outside, and we got to know them rather well. In matters of education, they said they would have no problem. They were eager to dig into their studies. They said that the God they knew and worshipped their whole lives long was the creator of heaven and earth. That their God had made the stars, and so it would be perfectly fine to study astronomy. Their God was the one who had come up with the whole system of science and math. Their God had made the high and holy heavens, and so they were eager to dig in and learn. Daniel, the oldest of the group and seemed to be the leader, said he was looking forward to continuing the botany he had started back home. The others, they just groan. Do we have to know this for a test? Well, I don't want to learn that. Those don't look like letters. It looks just like a chicken walked across the tablet. We gave them new names, of course. You don't really have any control over what anybody calls you, you know. Let's see. Daniel. You can't have a man with a new education and a new way of life going around with a name that says Elohim is my judge. No, we must change his name. We will call him Belteshazzar, which means Bel is the protector of the king. Hananiah. You can't have somebody going around with a name that means Yahweh's great gift. No, that will never work. We will call him Shadrach, which means the sun god has declared it to be so. Mishael. Michael. Michelle. You can't have somebody with a name that says they are like God. No, that will never work. Easy to change. Change the last ending. Me-shak. One who is like Shak. Whoever that is. We got so many gods, you can't keep track of them all. Azariah, which means God helps. No, we can't have somebody whose name means God helps. God has abandoned you. Your God has abandoned you. You are in Babylon. When in Babylon, be as the Babylonians. We can't have you running around with a name that says God helps. Your God hasn't helped you. And so we will name you Abednego, which means Nabu is the protector of the king. Good. It's all settled. Only two of you have to change your initials. It's good. I did notice something about these four. Though we used their new names, they used their old names. It seems it's harder to change the inside than it is the outside. New education, no problem. New names, they didn't seem to care. But come new customs, that was a problem. With a capital P. It all started the night they arrived in Babylon. We brought them into the king's cafeteria. There was a spread of food 20 feet long. And most of them had been traveling for weeks with scant rations, and so they dug in hungrily, eager to eat. But I noticed something. These four troublemakers weren't eating. They were eating the trimmings and the decorations. One of them had piled his plate full of parsley. You know what parsley is, don't you? It's the little green sprigs you put on food that was once alive to make it look alive after you cooked it to death. Excuse me, you're not supposed to be eating that. Another of them had gone down the center of the table and had plucked all of the garnishes. The little carrot palm trees and the apples carved to look like turkeys. And how playful. Excuse me, young man, please don't eat the decorations. Another one had gone all the way to the front of the table where the giant roast pig was, had reached hand around into the mouth of the pig and plucked out the apple. It was all there was left, he said. And for drink, well, I can simply say that the wine flowed freely that day. Welcome to Babylon, our new friends. All of you who used to be kosher, you now come and eat and drink. The king himself ordered that 5 barrels of a very great vintage, I believe it was from 666. Pinot Noir, very good year. The best that we had to offer. Now, I have been giving banquets in this hall for many years, and I have seen a lot of strange things in my life, but I can tell you, I never had seen what I saw them do. They drank their finger bowl. Excuse me, sir, may I have a refill on my finger bowl? It's empty. Nobody ever drinks their finger bowl. It seemed they weren't going to change. They spoke up to my master, Ashpenaz, and they said, please, could we have some vegetables to eat and water to drink? Oh, I'm sorry, Ashpenaz says. No, I'm sorry. We are giving you the best. This is the food from the king's own table. It is his own favorite recipes. Why, if you don't eat it, you'll dry up and blow away. Besides, my neck is on the line. If I don't see you thriving, and if the king doesn't see you thriving and becoming strong, he might think I'm not doing my job and I'll be fired, or worse yet, I'll be even killed. And I would never have that. No, you have to eat what's put before you. Our best nutritionists have come up with a food pyramid direct from Egypt. Why can't you just fit in? Why can't you be like all the good Jewish boys and girls and just eat the food? No, I'm sorry. This is your new hometown buffet. Eat what's put before you. No, Ashpenaz said. But Daniel would not be easily dissuaded. I mean, Belteshazzar. And do you know what he did next? He came to me. Please, he said, please, just, could you fix us some vegetables and some rice and beans, some fruit and some nuts, maybe some lentils? There was something different about it. You could tell by the look on his face that he wasn't easily going to be dissuaded. He was gentle, and he was kind, and he was polite. But you could also see that you weren't going to drag him anywhere, for his heels were dug in. Why? I asked. Be careful when you ask a question, because you have to be ready for the answer. He said that his body was the temple of God. Oh yes, back in Jerusalem, his temple was going down. It was being destroyed. But God didn't only live in the high and holy heavens. The God he worshipped wanted to live right inside his heart. And because of that, he had taken a vow before God to be healthy. He said that his law, the law of Moses, says that food has to be slaughtered in a certain way if you're going to eat an animal. No fat, no blood. Those things harm you on the long term. He said that the holy writings of Moses contain clean meat. If you're not going to be a vegetarian, at least eat a vegetarian.